Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Timbo here, and it's time for an epic unboxing. So, got this package right here. Open it up. Yeet. And oh, we've got these. You already know, man. So, it's time. It's time, bro. This hits in the heart a lot. You know, I'm sure a lot of people know, and just now it's really hitting. You know, I'll explain a little bit if you don't understand what I mean. But we've got this. It is the epic Beyblade Burst BU or Burst Ultimate Barricade Lucifer illegal bearing Mobius 10. So with this, it pulls at the heartstrings because this is the last official main release for Beyblade Burst, man. We've reached this point and it just hits in the heart in a major way. There's definitely a few other bays I would have loved to see him get evos like this because it's amazing. The DBBU format, honestly my favorite. Just I love how balanced it is, and it's so much fun to the point where it makes older drivers that we haven't seen in years that they first released really fun. Like really fun again, man. Like just look at Burst Spriggan even having fusion. Like it's just so much fun, man. But we got Lucifer here, man. They at least gave the boy Lane Valhalla his roses for this season, man. And it looks really dope. I always really enjoyed you know, the overall flair and such of Lane, and I know some people don't like him because like plot armor and such, but you gotta think of it in this context. It's like this man just getting so strong and his flair being crazy to the point where he got legendary level and ended up being like the antagonist and everything. And just, yeah, you talk about plot armor, yes, and like how the Bay is in the show. Of course, like in real life, Lucifer, the main thing with it being able to be taken out with the same spin, but you know, overall just being a really dope Bay, awesome release. And yeah, it's in the heart because it's the last official release. And you know, I started my collection with Death Scyther, Oval Excel, and Wyvern Armed Massive all the way back in 2015 when Burst was first starting up, man. So yeah, y'all, I've been here and I ain't gone. So you already know. But Barricade Lucifer illegal bearing Mobius and 10 with it. Overall, just so sick. My hopes is that it has better same spin than the original 2, because the original 2, obviously the main thing for them being that they can be taken out easily with the same spin, which I can see happening with this Lucifer, but hopefully it has that big time defense to where it can at least get KOs or, you know, at least some fun counter attacks using the barrier. But yeah, dude, but against the opposite spin, this thing's gonna be a monster, that's for sure. And that's the thing, like, part balance. And I'll get into that more in a little bit, y'all already know. But without further ado, let's get into it. Y'all already know I wanted to sit and talk about it like forever, because just being the last main release, just that we're at this point, man. Burst has done so well. It's the biggest series in Beyblade history by far, and that's me even growing up with the MFB era. Y'all already know, and even making like my skits for it. I'm planning the skit series is gonna be way bigger than the other one if you watch those, you know. But yeah, it's how I like let out my creativity and such when I'm, you know, not doing like the main releases or anything, and paying homage to you know, characters and such, and also just writing my own story with it and incorporating y'all as well as many other people. But yeah, so we got this here. This is the big time thing that's been talked about. 3, 2, 1. So of course 3, 2, 1, go shoot. You know, and it's clever because March 21st they're gonna have a big announcement. They show off literally Beyblade Burst, Metal Fight Beyblade, and the Classic Gen logo. So with this, yeah, a lot to talk about with it. You guys want to make a video on it, my speculation and stuff? I mean, let me know in the comments. Personally, yeah, it's gonna be big. It's Beyblade related, that's for sure. And I just can't wait to I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. What's gonna be wild, man. Whatever they announce. So got the stickers on the back right there, looking really dope. Not that many stickers with it, which is not a bad thing. Some of them are small, so it's gonna be a little tricky putting them on. But I mean, this is one of those bays that like doesn't really need the stickers, but like at the same time, like they add a little bit of pop and such with it. But just the overall design of it looks amazing, man. It looks so dope, man. Lane getting his damn roses. I'm gonna have so much fun making the thumbnails. And let me know in the comments. Y'all know I'm gonna ask in the community tab. There's actually a few. This is not the only one, but if y'all want to see a survival battle, if y'all want to see 1v1s, or if y'all want to see a mix of both of them, y'all already know how I do with it. So here we go, man. Barricade Lucifer. It looks so dope, man. Love the design for this thing. So, of course, having the barrier gimmick, it's like kind of a combo of variant and Lucifer the End. Lucifer the Endo. Not like the free spin on the outside. It would have been crazy if they would have made like a disc that has like free spin on the outside for it. That would have been wild for this to like use more of Lucifer the End's kind of gimmick. But still, awesome that we got like a legal with it. But Barricade Lucifer overall looking really, really dope, man. It's got the barrier when it's spun fast. It sticks out big time. So instead of it coming from the bottom, it goes from like, the side when the barrier comes out. Because, on the 2D chassis, they all came from like the bottom of the bay. And this time it comes from like the actual like side, with the wind resistance, and that's what makes the barrier. So it's going to take up a lot of space in the stadium for sure, man. But it's awesome to see it back with the barrier gimmick, and I'll explain why I got multiple. I'm sure you guys saw like multiple, but yeah, so there's 10. You've seen this before on like Bahamut and like a few other bays like Dragon and such, but still a really awesome designed armor. I'm just surprised that they never made like 5. That's the one that we didn't get. I think we got every other one besides 5, but yeah, so it kind of shocks me that they didn't do that. Like they didn't actually like use the 5 armor. We literally got everything else, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and even like 10. Yeah, we got them all except for 5. But yeah, man. So anyways, the disc being illegal, being really good with its stamina and LAD, second option for over, but yeah, the overall round shape of it and such makes it really, really awesome for its stamina and LAD. But yeah, so then we've got the driver, the driver, performance tip under Hasbro's terms, but the driver, which is bearing Mobius. I always thought Mobius was a really, really awesome driver, and the fact they did like a bearing for it. At first I thought they were just going to recycle like bearing drift to put metal bearing drift on it, but they did bearing Mobius, and not even upset. Makes it taller, so like, bearing drift being shorter and such with the stamina and LAD, but this being a bit taller, so you have some combos where like they won't scrape as much, or maybe make like a fun stationary combo, or combos that can focus on the spin steel and such. Because yeah, I don't play no games, and plus having the bearing with it's gonna make it where it's stronger with the same spin. Because like with regular Mobius, like strong against the opposite spin, of course, and this being strong against the opposite spin, but having the bearing is going to help it with the same spin as well, so it has more stamina. My hope suggests that it, with the same spin performs better than Variant and Lucifer the End. But yeah, man, overall, a really, really awesome part. Getting new parts with this, even with the last release. But yeah, overall, I give this thing like a solid like 8.5 out of 10, And I'm going to talk about the thing that I mean with part balancing. People think, oh man, all the parts of this are so bad because like the Bay can be defeated with the same spin. That's how Lucifer is. It's about balance with the game too, you guys. And this being good for like opposite spin, the barrier gimmick, definitely see it being strong. Because even like with Variant and Lucifer the End, they could go toe to toe with Rage. And Rage being one of the strongest bays for, Super King, but like it kind of kept it in check with that, because the barrier honestly on Variant shut down Rage big time. Rage can still get some major attacks and break through, but the barrier really did shut it down, and then the stamina and LAD, it could beat it. Against the opposite spin, it's really, really strong. The same spin is the definite way of taking it out, and that's just the fun thing. Like, it's a balance of the game. This being added too, like, it's fun for the barrier gimmick against the opposite spin, because it's going to be a beast against the opposite spin. Like, Longinus and Fafnir are going to struggle. And my fam got a hold of me, so, if you heard you're in my pops in the background, that's what that was. But, yeah. But like I was saying, it's going to shut down opposite spin in a major way, and that's just some big-time balance with it. Like, taken out pretty easily with the same spin, but then the opposite spin, it gets, gets some serious spin going on, like spin steel with the opposite spin. So, yeah, man. Overall, it looks so, so dope. And this thing I could definitely see having, like, multiple modes as well. So I'll show them off over time, and I'll tell you guys what I have actually planned. I might as well say it, because you guys have seen like how I've done battles before, but what I had planned for it. But before that, you gotta compare it to the previous Lucifers. So we've got Lucifer Ziendo. So you can always see like the parts of it with the design, like those points right there on the outside. The overall shape, like Lucifer the End, when it comes to the top design, looking really, really dope, man. And yeah, you already know. It's about the same height, I think. Lucifer the End might even be a bit taller, but yeah. overall layer-wise, it's a pretty decent-sized layer. Like, he's not an insanely omega thick boy, but he's a pretty thick boy. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking like Gatling's, yeah, Gatling's like a little bit, like, thicker than it. But overall, still going to be defensive, and it's going to be really fun seeing against the opposite spin, because having all this weight and such, like, the barrier gimmick was fun at first, like, seeing it battle left spin, and even, like, same spin just shutting down, like, attacks and such, but especially, like, against left spin battles, because stealing that spin and seeing the barrier, oh, man. And the gimmick that it just slowly retracts in as it, you know, slows down, really, really dope. But, yeah, so Lucifer the end, and then Variant Lucifer, so... yeah, you know, Mobius, bearing Mobius, so stronger version of it, having the bearing in it, so should help it out with same spin, and of course barrier gimmick, like I said with, you know, with Variant, it's from the bottom, going up with that gimmick, and then it's actually on the layer itself, Barricade, you know, on the sides. But yeah, overall, just looks so sick. You can see the parts of Lucifer the End and Variant with it, so... yeah, man, I will be doing some comparison battles and such. Y'all already know how it goes, and it's going to be awesome, man. So, yeah, but now, we got to get into this. So, I picked up another one, and also got this one. Like, Mala Toys was amazing and sent one over as well, man. So, I planned on getting 3. Always planned on getting 3 of them. Because I see it just like being like how Super King Helios, Super King Hyperion, Super Hyperion, King Helios, all of them have different modes with them. I see the same thing for Lucifer. So I'm not going to immediately put them in one of the modes. But one I will after the video, and you'll see what I mean with a future video. So, yeah. So I can imagine this thing having 3 different modes. I'm sure you guys know what one of the modes is, and then maybe one of the other ones might be a little bit of a surprise. Maybe some people know, like, oh yeah, like that mode too. It'd be cool if that happened. But, of course, got a couple here. It would have been crazy if they would have put in like a, if they would have done like some, like rare version. Imagine if they did like the whole GT thing. Like, they made rare versions of each of the bays. That would have been insane. It wasn't like, oh god, now they're going to have rare versions of that. That would have been wild. But, yeah, so the reason I got these is because the different modes that can be done with them. Like I said, one of them I'll show off after the video, and you'll see in future videos, and I'll just explain it now. And then one, you'll see a special video for, you know. And then after I do that video, then nothing happens. I'll switch to mode myself. But we got this one for the regular mode, that of course being with the barrier, nothing fixed with it or anything, you know. So, the second one, the idea being like how it was in the show, where a few select bladers, that being like Iga, Vault, you know, Shu, who managed to break through the barrier big time. And it turned into the mode where it didn't have the barrier. So, you know, removing the barrier on this. I'm sure you've seen it with other people's vids and such with it. But testing it out and seeing if it's any better without the barrier. But before that, I'm not going to, like, artificially do it. Yet, at least. You know, yet, at least. Gonna make a special video. I'll just say this. Remember the first time that I did this type of thing with Variant? That's your hint. That's what I'll say. I'll leave it at that. If you know, you know, and probably added some hype. But, yeah, man. Gonna test it out and have the mode where it does not have the barrier on it. So this being removed, and if it'll up its defense. I personally think it's going to up its defense with the same spin for sure. Opposite spin, it'll be more vulnerable, like, yeah, more vulnerable to KOs and such, I think, without having the barrier. But same time, like, same spin, it'll, I feel like, improve it and up its defensive power. But, yeah, so got one for that. That's probably the one you guys knew. So I'm sure some people know this one, too, or think of this one. But maybe not everybody. The third one being, what if these barriers were actually glued down so they don't retract out, but it still has the rubber there. It'll make it where it's a circular shape, but still this won't, like, go out. If that rubber recoil with the points in the barrier not going out, being glued in, if that'll up its defensive power. Like, opposite spin is still going to be a beast because having that rubber spin steel, but if the same spin, I mean, you see how it is for, like, Super Hyperion and King Helios and their Super King versions, you know, that rubber helping them out in a major way. And even with like burst sprigging, you know, same spin, the rubber could be dangerous if it's set up the right way. So, you know, with this being glued down, it'll make it a full round shape, and having those like rubber points right there for contact, that'll up its defense without the barrier actually going out. So that being the third one. So that one I'll actually do after, you know, end out the video and everything. But yeah, so that's why there's 3 of them. So those are the different modes I could see for this thing, and just being, once again, another diverse bay, but even more modes for it than the original. Like, you know, like the original variant, at least for the end, just having the one mode, you know, that switches. But yeah, dude, overall, it's a really, really sick release. This being the last one, it hits in the heart big time. The heartstrings pulled with this in a major way. We're at the end of the official burst releases, and it's been a wild, wild ride, man. And one last thing for it before going, they put in an Easter egg for this. If you look at the bottom of the layer, boom, right there and right there, it says thank you. That being a little Easter egg thing for it. And just thank you, TT, and honestly even Hasbro, for just bringing this series to reality, man. Like, Burst being such an amazing series with such a cool gimmick. Like, you know, you have it where you have the standard KOs and everything, or sleep outs, but the burst factor making it that much more fun, man. Like, just the explosion, and even at beginning burst, like, you're talking single dual layers, you launch so hard, like, especially with the new launchers, that you have bays. The burst, like, when they burst, the parts fly everywhere. They could fly. Like, I've had parts fly in the yard for skits, you know? Haven't found them for days. It's that wild, dude. But, yeah, just such an innovative, awesome series. And if on March 21st, it is an announcement for a new series, like, what are they going to do to even up Burst? Because it's so innovative, man. Like, you see how Beyblade's evolving and such, and I guess on to the next step on that date. I really would wish that they do an MFB remake set, because Trigger V2, the remake for it, is so strong it literally hangs with DB and BU bays, and I'd love to see MFB bays get that and get their roses with one final set, incorporating like DB parts into it, like how they did Trigger V2. I've mentioned this so many times before, like a 4D set. You know, Big Bang Pegasus with like Ultimate Reboot or something. Eldrago Destroy with like Generate or something. You know, maybe they lock it in the high mode or something, the way they design it. You know, Phantom Orion with like bearing, metal bearing, whatever. Imagine high bearing. Yo, that's not even, dude, that would be crazy if they did like a high bearing. That would be nuts. You know, like I said, it's the main release. We don't know how things are gonna go. We're just gonna see and wait it out for the next few months. But yeah, like Flash Sagittario, high yielding. They use yielding all the time. You know, I'd include, well, Diablo Nemesis, of course, like Trick Dash or something, or yeah, the regular attack mode for it, like Trans, just like Trans. Fang Leon with Wave or High Wave or whatever. Yeah, just so many possibilities for it. I'd love to see that set before this ends off, but like, it's at this point kind of unlikely. At least we're getting Flash Gen remake set with the V2 base. It's gonna be awesome seeing that, man. But yeah, you know. So, anyways, guys, I guess that's gonna do it. You know, in my heart, I don't want to end it off, but I know I gotta end it off. We've reached this point, man. The last burst release, the official burst release, and it's just crazy, dude. But that's the review. That does it for this review on this absolutely epic Beyblade Burst, Burst Ultimate, or BU Barricade Lucifer, Illegal Bearing Mobius 10. You already know. Stay tuned for a bunch of battles and such. And I'll put it in the community tab if y'all want to see 1v1s, if y'all want to see survival battles, if y'all want to see a mix of both. Like, let me know in the comments, man. And also at this point, after the battles I finish, because I still got a couple battles to do at this point with Helios and Hyperion, I'm officially splitting up DB and BU, because they're both massive. So, yeah, there'll be 2 videos, whatever you choose, you know. So, one will be for, like, DB, one will be for BU, because at this point, yeah, BU can hold its own, for sure. But hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content, because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it is your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Till then, stay awesome and cool. Shoot, I'm up out of here.